Hi there, my name is Gordon McCrory. I'm the Happiness Guy. This is a video about my morning routine. I don't want to leave my happiness, my mental, my physical and emotional well-being to chance. So my morning routine is what I do to make sure that I get to be the best version of me, to make sure that I can show up for others the way that I want to without begrudging it, without being drained of energy. So here's how I do it. Not everyone's going to do all of this, but I think that you can start anywhere with it. Some of you already do at least one of the things that I do. So I start off, and my first thing is meditation. I meditate first thing in the morning when I wake up. It's my brain's in the best state to do that, and I'll take a minimum of 10 minutes depending on the time available, sometimes a bit longer. But I'll take a minimum of 10 minutes and I'll use one of two apps. I'll use Headspace or I'll use Calm. And I do sometimes do just kind of no app at all. I've been meditating for long enough that worked perfectly well too. But sometimes I quite like them. Just now my preferred one is Calm. And I'll take 10 minutes and I'll just be silent and I'll pay attention to whatever's being said on the meditation and I'll follow the instructions. And it's just a way to start the day with a little bit of time for yourself. I often do a systems check kind of through it and I'll ask myself, okay, mentally, emotionally and physically, how am I feeling today? So mentally, is my head busy or is it pretty clear? Emotionally, how am I feeling? And that might involve energy levels too, I guess. But do I feel connected or am I feeling lonely or how am I feeling? Pay attention to my own emotions. And physically, that would certainly be pain or stiffness or kind of whatever. So mentally, emotionally and physically, how am I feeling and what do I need to do to move whichever of those is furthest behind or lowest or the highest priority, if you like. What do I need to do to move them in the right direction? So I start with meditation. It's pretty much a daily habit. I don't do it every single day. Sometimes I do it a number of times a day. It's the one thing that I've done that's given me more control and influence over the rest of my life than anything else combined. It's not just changed my life, it's changed who I am. And that's a wonderful thing. I'm so grateful that I've been able to change, if you like, because I used to be reactive and angry. And now I don't go through life like that. I feel really connected and grateful. So meditation's fabulous for that. Once I've had some of that meditation malarkey, then it's straight on to a very nice little coffee. I may use a little bit of some kind of flavoured syrup. I know that's a bit naughty, but it's really tasty and I really enjoy it, and it's just a kind of small thing and it's going to kind of now start to perk me up a little. But I don't do it to perk me up. I do it because I like the taste of it. I like coffee. It's a treat for myself. Depending on what the day's structured like, the order of these things can sometimes change. But often the next thing I'll do is kind of get ready and get straight out the door and get off for some exercise. The exercise is sometimes gentle stretching and I'm kind of off to the gym for that. Or it can be weights, or it can be kind of treadmill sprints or something. But I get some exercise in at least 5 days out of 7. I started kind of with 3 times a week, and it was for a minimum of 10 minutes, and this was a few years ago. But now exercise is something that I do all the time, or at least certainly structured exercise 5 times a week. It seems to be kind of about the norm. There's no will I, won't I. If I want to look and feel how I want to look and feel, I've got to do it. I've got to make the time for it. It doesn't need to take a lot of time if you do it often. And the idea with the exercise is I feel better and I've got it done, so that so I feel better going through the day and I don't have the excuse of I was too busy to get it done at the end of the day. So for me, the mornings work best. And even 20 minutes would make a difference, or 10, I guess, it still keeps you on track. After that, off for a shower. It depends where I am. So if I'm at home and I'm having a shower, then I'll actually have some kind of positive motivational something on YouTube. I won't be watching it, but I'll be listening to it. And my mind will often drift off to things that I'm really grateful for. I'll look maybe around the bathroom and think how lucky I am to live in a kind of wonderful flat, and things like just ridiculous things like just having warm water sounds nuts, but very grateful for it. I notice things like, oh, the shampoo smells really nice. Now clearly I don't use a lot of shampoo because I don't have a lot of hair, but things like that, I take care of myself. And I recognise that I'm doing that, and again it's ritualistic and I feel good. At the end of that shower, I then turn it into kind of like a cold shower for 1 minute. And the reason I do that is because there was an event not so long ago where I was unreasonably angry for something, and that spilled out and upset someone that I loved. And when I say spilled out, exploded out would be kind of far more accurate. And it upset someone that I loved, and I vowed that I wouldn't do that again. So I took control. And cold showers seem to be a really good way, both in terms of how they change the physiology, but also they remind you every day. If you step into a cold shower every day and you're doing that because you love your partner and you do not want them to experience the bad side of you, and we've all got a bad side, but I just didn't want them to have to experience that again, or at least within my power, I wanted to do what I could. So cold shower and then out. Dried off for breakfast. Breakfast, very routine, kind of nothing fancy for me, kind of typically, although I am really into my health and well-being, breakfast is probably one of my least nutritious meals. I'm perfectly happy with something like bran flakes and a banana. Love that. It's kind of great as I'm trying to get just a little bit leaner. I love porridge. I do love things like toast and eggs. These tend to be kind of my normal things. It's just routine. And as I'm doing it, I'm seated, I'm taking a little bit of time, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm thinking, I really like what I'm eating, so I'm present. And so I guess the meditation earlier on in the day helps with that. So a bit of time for myself. Then kind of there's going to be kind of some kind of, I want to nourish my mind. So whether it be an audiobook or whether it be kind of again something off of YouTube, I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to develop, I want my brain to be firing before I get anywhere near the rest of my day. I want to have upgraded me in some way. Of course, kind of if dependent kind of on kind of times and schedules. If my girlfriend's around, then I'll need to have a little chat with her. And again, that just feels really nice. It's having a little bit of time where we're together, even if it's only 5 minutes of kind of whatever the chat is. It just helps me feel connected and lucky. So all of that, just running kind of through it. Meditation, mentally, emotionally, and physically, helps me feel how I want to feel. Coffee, a little bit of a gift to self. Exercise, a gift I give to the body to keep that in great working order and help me get physically better. Kind of shower is basically taking care of myself. Obviously there's things like teeth brushing and stuff in there as well. Having some breakfast, nourishing myself so I've got the energy to go through the day. Audiobook, kind of or kind of motivational video, so my brain is primed. Chatting with my girlfriend, feeling connected. All of that before the day starts. And if you do all of that before the day starts, you're best you. You're going into the day feeling good, and you're not begrudging what you have to do. You've got the energy for it. You've taken care of yourself first. And how often do we hear that, and how often do we ignore that? If you're going to help others, you've got to put your own mask on first. Self-care and self-love, if you like, in that respect, is not optional if you don't want to, unless you're kind of happy enough to just keep running out of energy and grudge helping the people that you love. So and grudge being there for them. So that's my morning routine. It means that I get to have my life in essence before work starts, which I love too, and then sometimes at the end of the day there's more time for good stuff. But I just wanted to share that because I think it's it's really important to how I've grown and developed, and it helps keep me. One key thing that I don't do, I don't check emails, I don't check Facebook, and I don't check WhatsApp before I've done all of that, because emails, Facebook and WhatsApp are less important, and I think we've got to get our priorities right in life if we're going to have a great life. So that's my morning routine. I hope it's been useful for you. Take care. Bye-bye.